I never thought my own flesh and blood would raise a hand against me in the dim light of my laundry room, the place where I'd folded his tiny onesies as a baby. But there he was, my son David, his face twisted in rage, shoving me against the washing machine. The cold metal bit into my back, and in that split second, as detergent pods scattered like fallen stars across the linoleum floor, something inside me shattered. Not just my heart, but the chains I'd worn for decades. But what happened next? Oh, it wasn't what he expected. It was the shock that changed everything. The kind that makes you question every sacrifice, every tear swallowed in silence. Stick with me, dear listener, because this isn't just my story. It's the wake-up call you might need before it's too late. The air in that laundry room was thick with the scent of lavender fabric softener, the kind I always used because David loved it as a child, saying it smelled like home. I was 68 years old, my hands wrinkled from years of scrubbing stains out of his clothes, first his school uniforms, then his work shirts after he got that fancy job in the city. That afternoon, snow was piling up outside the window, soft and silent like the loneliness that had crept into my days. I bent down to load the dryer, the hum of the machine a familiar companion in this empty house, when I heard the door slam. David stormed in, his boots tracking slush across the floor I'd mopped that morning. "Mom, where's the deed to the house?" he barked, not even a hello. His voice echoed off the shelves of neatly stacked towels, the ones I'd embroidered with his initials long ago. I straightened up slowly, my back aching from the garden work I'd done earlier, pulling weeds in the frozen earth just to feel useful. "David, honey, what do you mean? This is my home." But he didn't listen. His eyes, once so full of wonder when I'd bake him apple pies, the crust flaky, the cinnamon warm, were now cold, calculating. He grabbed my arm, yanking me toward him, his grip like a vice. "You've got to sign it over, Mom. Lisa, and I need it for the down payment on our new place. You're not getting any younger." Lisa, his wife, the one who'd smiled sweetly at our wedding but whispered complaints behind my back. And then, as I pulled away, he shoved me. Hard. My hip hit the edge of the washer, pain shooting through me like lightning. The room spun, the fluorescent light buzzing overhead like an angry bee. In that moment, the shocking truth hit me, not just the physical blow, but the realization that this wasn't new. It had been building, like a storm gathering over the years. Oh, how the memories flooded back then. As I clutched the machine for balance, the warm rumble vibrating through my palms. I remember the nights I'd sat up with him as a boy, when he had fevers, wiping his brow with cool cloths scented with eucalyptus, whispering stories of far-off lands to chase away his fears. I'd worked 2 jobs after his father left us. Waitressing at the diner, the grease clinging to my apron, and cleaning offices late into the night, my knees raw from scrubbing floors, just to put him through college. "Mom, you're my hero," he'd say, hugging me with those chubby arms. I gave him everything. The savings I'd scraped together for his first car, a rusty old Ford that smelled of freedom, the down payment on his first apartment, even when it meant skipping my own doctor's visits. And when Lisa came along, I welcomed her with open arms, knitting baby blankets for the grandchildren, who now barely knew my name. But slowly the warmth faded. They'd visit less, calls turned to texts, always with a request. "Mom, can you watch the kids? We need a break." Or worse, "The roof's leaking, send money." I sent it every time, my checkbook a symbol of my endless love, like the gold locket I wore around my neck, engraved with his birth date, a heart that now felt heavy as lead. The betrayal didn't happen overnight. It crept in like shadows lengthening at dusk. David and Lisa started treating me like an ATM, not a mother. "You're sitting on all this property, Mom. It's selfish not to help," Lisa would say over Thanksgiving dinner, her fork clinking against the china I'd inherited from my own mother, the plates chipped from years of family meals. I'd smile through the hurt, stirring the gravy that bubbled on the stove, its rich aroma masking the bitterness in my throat. But inside, my heart whispered warnings. He promised to visit tomorrow. I'd tell myself after another canceled trip. Tomorrow never came. Tomorrow never came. The disrespect grew. Forgotten birthdays, where my phone stayed silent, the only sound the ticking clock in the empty kitchen, in-laws rolling their eyes when I shared stories of the past, as if my life was a relic. And the manipulation. Oh, the gaslighting. You're being dramatic, Mom. We love you, but life's busy, David would say, his voice smooth as the silk tie I'd bought him for his promotion. But busy for what? Parties, vacations, while I gardened alone. The soil under my nails a reminder of roots I'd nurtured, now pulling away. As I stood there in the laundry room, rubbing my bruised arm, the pain sharpened my thoughts. Enough. The word echoed in my mind, clear as the chime of the grandfather clock in the hall. I'd sacrificed my youth, my dreams, of traveling to see the ocean waves crash against the shore, symbolic of life's relentless push for them. But no more. In that shocking moment, empowerment stirred, like a seed cracking open in the earth. I realized their entitlement wasn't my fault. It was a mirror of my own boundless giving, without boundaries. I felt a calm wash over me, stronger than the hurt. That night, as snowflakes danced outside like forgotten promises, I took quiet action. No screams, no drama, just deliberate steps. I called my lawyer, the phone cord twisting like the knots in my stomach, and revised my will, removing David's name from the house deed. That sturdy brick home I'd paid off with sweat and solitude. The key to my safe deposit box, where I'd stashed emergency funds, I hid deeper, its metallic click a symbol of reclaimed control. I changed the locks on the doors, the new keys shiny and unshared, representing my independence. And the locket? I unclasped it, letting it drop into a drawer, the chain breaking like the ties that bound me. These acts were my silent revenge, not vengeful, but just karma in motion, a gentle tide turning. Of course, they came back. 2 days later, David pounded on the door, his face red as the roses I'd once planted for his birthday. Mom, open up. What the hell? Lisa says the lawyer called. You're cutting us out? His voice cracked with panic, but I heard the blame shift underneath. I opened the door a crack, the chain locked firm, symbolic of my new barriers. You can't do this. After all we've done for you, you're being selfish, old, and confused. Lisa hovered behind him, arms crossed, her diamond ring, bought with my loan, glinting accusingly. Think of the grandkids, Evelyn. They need their inheritance. I looked at him, my son, now a stranger in expensive boots, and felt pity, not pain. David, you put your hands on me. In my home. That's enough. My words were short, cold, dignified, like the winter air seeping through the crack. You've taken plenty. Now go. I closed the door softly, the lock clicking with finality. His shouts faded as he stormed away, but inside, peace bloomed. Now I sit by the window, watching the sunrise paint the snow in golden hues, waves of light like the ocean I finally planned to visit. The house feels lighter, the empty chair across from me no longer a void, but a space for myself. I've rediscovered joy in small things, folding laundry without expectation, gardening for my own blooms. The folder of papers on my table, my new will, travel brochures, symbolizes freedom. And the lesson, dear listener? Dignity isn't given, it's claimed. Boundaries are walls, but gardens where self-respect grows. Let go of those who drain you, for in sacrifice unappreciated lies betrayal's seed. But in empowerment, peace, like flowers blooming after the storm. Hold your heart close, it's yours to protect.